The scorching sun hangs high in the sky, but the Wanbei Mountains remain cool and shaded, with lush branches blocking the intense sunlight. Suyu crouches behind the grass, his eyes fixed on the scene before him, not daring to make a sound. In front of him, a fierce tiger squats, its body seemingly enveloped in flames, its aura intimidating and forbidding. The flame tiger, a mid-stage first-level beast, is ferocious in battle, swift and incredibly lethal. With Suyu's current strength, he dares not confront it head-on. Beside the flame tiger, a tall branch stands alone, with a crystalline, red fruit glowing with spiritual energy hanging from it. The spirit-inducing fruit. Consuming it can help a martial artist sense the spiritual energy of the world, allowing them to enter the key condensation stage. While it is of no use to Suyu, it is of great benefit to Su Linger. After all, Su Linger is already 12 years old and has yet to sense the spiritual energy of the world. If she doesn't enter the key condensation stage soon, she will miss the best age for cultivation. Therefore, Suyu is determined to pick this spirit-inducing fruit to help his sister enter the key condensation stage. The flame tiger lies beside the fruit, dozing off, looking drowsy. Suyu's eyes light up, having waited for so long. This is the moment he has been waiting for. The flame tiger's eyes are closed, and it begins to sleep in place. After half a moment, Suyu tiptoes away from his position, searching for the best angle to launch an attack. Even if he can't kill it in one strike, he must wound it severely to reduce its lethality. Suyu circles around to its rear, gripping his sharp sword tightly, and strikes at the right moment. In an instant, cold light flashes, and the sword's aura rises. The flame tiger immediately senses the danger, its hair standing on end, and a roar echoes through the sky. Roar! The tiger's overwhelming pressure makes Suyu feel immense pressure. If not for the spirit-inducing fruit, Suyu would not want to be its enemy. The sword is already out, and the sword light has reached behind. Puffed! The sword blade slices through the hind leg, and blood spatters. The flame tiger is in pain, its face twisted in a fierce expression, its eyes full of murder, and it locks onto Suyu. Roar! Another roar echoes through the sky, and the flame tiger's anger surges, lunging directly at Suyu. However, due to the wounded hind leg, its movements are slower, making it easy for Suyu to dodge. The sword in his hand flips, and another sword cut appears, and blood flows profusely. Swoosh! The sound of breaking the air reaches his ears, and Suyu thinks, "Not good." Smack! The tiger's tail strikes Suyu's back fiercely, causing his skin to split, blood to flow, and his clothes to become tattered. Feeling the burning pain in his back, Suyu clenches his teeth, his brows furrowed, and he stares at the flame tiger. He was a bit too careless. He didn't expect the tiger's tail to be so powerful, striking him like a steel whip. The flame tiger is also not in good shape, its body covered in blood, its hind leg injured, and its speed limited. All it needs to do is guard against the tiger's tail. Suyu grips the sword tightly in front of him, adopting a posture that allows him to attack or retreat, and slowly approaches the flame tiger. The flame tiger shakes the blood off its body, its deep, murderous eyes fixed on Suyu, and it emits a low, threatening roar. In the next moment, the flame tiger takes a step back and then lunges forward with great force, charging at Suyu. Suyu dares not relax, retreating while brandishing his sword. the sword light flashing. Suyu dares not engage it in a direct fight with the flame tiger's size. If he can't kill it in one strike, he will be knocked down. At that point, it will be hard to escape. The flame tiger's attack misses, and it opens its mouth to pounce at Suyu. Seeing this, Suyu has a sudden idea, throwing his sword at the flame tiger and retreating quickly to avoid the attack. The sword pierces the flame tiger's mouth, directly through its body, the tip of the blade exposed and stained with blood. The flame tiger lands, blood dripping from its body, its breath weakening. Its throat is pierced, and it can no longer make a sound, only blood flowing from its mouth. Seeing this, Suyu knows the flame tiger is about to die and steps back a few paces, waiting quietly for it to die. Sure enough, in just a moment, the flame tiger's limbs begin to soften, trembling slightly. Even so, the flame tiger struggles to move towards Suyu. However, after taking just a few steps, the flame tiger collapses, unable to stand up again, its eyes filled with hatred as it stares at Suyu. Suyu does not rush forward. He waits for the flame tiger to completely die and confirms its death before taking the next step. Finally, the flame tiger's eyes lose their focus, its breath gradually fading, and it remains motionless. Suyu walks to the tree, picks the spirit-inducing fruit, and carefully places it in his storage ring. Now, his sister should be able to cultivate. Thinking of this, a smile forms on Suyu's lips. He then walks to the flame tiger's side, and the jade bead spins rapidly, absorbing a large amount of blood energy. The flame tiger's body quickly withers, soon becoming a dried corpse. A powerful aura emanates from Suyu's body. Advancement. 8th stage of ki condensation. Feeling the new power in his body, Suyu exhales a deep breath, feeling inexplicably comfortable. With the enhancement of the jade bead, he believes he can soon break through the ki condensation stage and enter the later heaven stage. After retrieving the sharp sword from the mummy, he casually bandaged the wound on his back and turned to leave, heading elsewhere. Today, he not only planned to hunt beast monsters in the 10,000 Beast Mountains but also to practice martial arts here. Previously, as a beast hunter, Suyu had no right to practice the Zhang family's martial arts. However, now that Suyu had discovered the martial arts techniques in Zhang Yui's spatial ring, he naturally intended to make good use of them. In the Zhuan Kang continent, martial arts are divided into mundane rank, spirit rank, king rank, and holy rank. Mundane rank is the lowest, while holy rank is the highest. Each rank is further divided into 3 sub-ranks: low, medium, and high. The strength of martial arts can determine the outcome of a battle. The more powerful the martial arts, the more astonishing power they can unleash. The most advanced martial arts of the Zhang family are the high mundane rank techniques, the sword drawing technique, and the swift shadow step. The sword drawing technique focuses on the moment the sword is unsheathed, where spiritual energy and sword intent are accumulated to the extreme, followed by a shocking strike. The swift shadow step, on the other hand, increases movement speed, allowing for rapid attacks or quick dodges. Suyu decided to focus on the sword drawing technique first, as the swift shadow step lacks offensive power. Previously, Suyu had practiced swordsmanship for many years, but the swords had always been provided by the Zhang family. Now, having been expelled from the Zhang family, he had no reason to take the weapons. Therefore, he could only fight the beast monsters bare-handed. Fortunately, there was a sharp sword in Zhang Yui's spatial ring, otherwise, Suyu would not have been able to practice martial arts at all. Beneath a towering ancient tree, Suyu stood quietly with his eyes closed. Suddenly, he gripped the sword hilt and unsheathed it forcefully, emitting a powerful aura, leaving a deep sword mark on the ancient tree. Then, the sword was sheathed, and he unsheathed and attacked again. Suyu knew that mastering the sword drawing technique was not something that could be achieved overnight, but it was a process of accumulation. Once he gained more experience, the killing power of the sword drawing technique would naturally manifest. For the entire afternoon, Suyu did not stop, continuously practicing the unsheathing and sheathing of the sword, repeating the process over and over again, like a machine, never stopping. As the sun set and dusk approached, the 10,000 Beast Mountains were already draped in a layer of darkness. Suyu also chose to leave the 10,000 Beast Mountains, as his sister was still waiting for him at home. With the spirit-attracting fruit, his sister would certainly be delighted. Leaving the 10,000 Beast Mountains, he entered Kanglan City and headed straight for his home. After a few twists and turns, he arrived at the courtyard gate. "I'm telling you, if you dare to touch me, my brother will never forgive you." "Ha ha ha! Your brother, that good for nothing? Even if he comes back, what can he do to me?" Suyu's expression suddenly changed, and he kicked the door open, rushing inside. There, he saw Su Linger, her face full of tears, cowering in the corner, her eyes filled with fear, staring at the figure in front of her. Jiang Wenbin's eyes were filled with lust, a malevolent smile on his face as he looked at the frail body in front of him. As Suyu entered, both of their gazes shifted to him. "Brother, you're finally back." Seeing Suyu return, Su Linger could no longer hold back her tears. Jiang Wenbin's smile only widened, not taking Suyu seriously, and said disdainfully, "I told you, you can't escape my grasp." Seeing this scene, Suyu's anger burned within him, his eyes instantly covered with a cold light, locking onto Jiang Wenbin, the aura of the 8th rank condensing key realm bursting forth. In the next moment, Jiang Wenbin's smile froze, replaced by a look of shock. "Your dantian was shattered, right? How can you still practice?" Suyu's face was dark, and he approached Jiang Wenbin with a murderous aura. Eighth rank condensing key realm, don't come any closer." At this moment, Jiang Wenbin was utterly panicked. He had never imagined that Suyu's strength could recover, and not only that, but he had also reached the 8th rank condensing key realm. Fear instantly enveloped his heart. It was important to note that this time, he had not brought any guards. The 5 beast hunters were still in the 10,000 Beast Mountains, trying to avoid suspicion. So, he was alone here, with no one to protect him. Watching Suyu approach step by step, Jiang Wenbin was in a frenzy. He was only at the 7th rank cultivating key realm and was no match for Suyu. Given the humiliation he had inflicted earlier, Suyu would certainly make him suffer. Thinking of this, Jiang Wenbin's face contorted into an expression even worse than crying, trying to maintain a semblance of composure. "I'm telling you, don't come any closer. If you dare to harm me, my father will tear you and your sister apart." After saying this, Jiang Wenbin's eyes lit up, and he shifted his gaze to Su Linger, reaching out to grab her. Seeing this, Suyu did not hesitate. He swiftly unsheathed the sword, a powerful aura erupting, and the sword light flashed, striking a critical blow. Jiang Wenbin's body froze in place, turning his head numbly. At this moment, his fear reached its peak, his eyes filled with terror. Sword! Sword drawing technique! After exclaiming in surprise, he slowly looked down and saw blood flowing from his abdomen. Then, Jiang Wenbin's aura dissipated, quickly becoming like that of an ordinary person. You ruined my Dantian. I'll fight you to the death. With his Dantian destroyed, reduced to a cripple, Jiang Wenbin could no longer hold back, losing all reason and lunging at Suyu like a madwoman. Suyu, of course, did not show any mercy and kicked him directly. Boom! Jiang Wenbin's body flew backward, hitting the wall heavily, blood spilling from the corner of his mouth. Even so, he still mumbled. My cultivation is gone, I'm a cripple. I'm ruined. Ah! Ha! I'm ruined. Suyu watched the Jiang Wenbin, who looked like a madman, took off his tattered clothes, and stuffed them into his mouth to prevent him from making any noise, then unsheathed the sword. Ah! Jiang Wenbin's hand was cleanly cut off, blood flowing wildly. The sword was sheathed. Suyu had not truly mastered the sword-drawing technique. He had only imitated the moves without truly understanding them. At this moment, Jiang Wenbin was like the towering ancient tree from the afternoon, becoming the target for Suyu's practice of the sword-drawing technique. The sword was unsheathed. The other hand was severed. The sword was sheathed. The sword was unsheathed. A leg was cut off. The sword was sheathed.